This New York Jets team has a whole lot of unsung heroes, but I want to point out three in particular that should be getting a little bit more recognition than they are. Let's talk about it. Well, welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Wa2K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. Quick reminder, we go live every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Join me, join the party. We're having a whole lot of fun on these Wednesday night shows. All right, so with the New York Jets currently on their bye week, I wanted to come on here and just point out a couple of unsung heroes on the New York Jets who I feel like may not be getting too much recognition from the fan base and from the media in general. Now, I'm not going to talk about Bryce Huff, Thomas Morstead, Quincy Williams. They're getting a whole lot of love, and very deservedly so. But I want to talk about three other players who deserve some credit. Number one is left guard LaAdrian Tomlinson. Now, this was the prize of the Jets' free agent class the previous season. A lot of people really wanted him. He had played in San Francisco. Robert Saleh knew him. It seemed to be a perfect fit. And last year, it didn't work out so well. He was the 48th graded guard out of 64 qualified guards on PFF. Not that that is the most reliable step, but when it comes to figuring out how an offensive lineman is doing, there's only so many tools out there. But here's one of the biggest indicators I can give you on how things are going. People are barely talking about LaAdrian Tomlinson. And that, in a lot of cases, is a big compliment to an offensive lineman. You don't want to notice them. They want to blend in, be part of a unit that is doing their job, and Tomlinson really is. Now, this year, he has progressed from the number 48 rated guard last year to the number 10 overall guard this season. Now, why is that happening? There's all kinds of reasons why. Maybe it's because it's his second year with the Jets. Maybe it's Keith Carter coming along as the new offensive line coach. Maybe it's playing next to mekhibecton at left tackle instead of a limited Dwayne Brown like he did last season. Maybe it's all three of those reasons, right? And here's the other thing. He never misses a snap as a Jet. He has not missed a game yet, and even though the Jets have a lot of very good offensive linemen, there's a lot of players on that offensive line that you can't necessarily count on for their durability. But Tomlinson has been a rock at left guard, and it's time to give him a little bit of credit for having a very good second year with the Jets. My second player I want to talk about, we're going to shift over to the defense. I want to talk about defensive tackle Quinton Jefferson. So Jefferson has played 200 snaps out of a possible 431. He has 13 tackles, 6 quarterback hits, including 3 in the opening game against the Buffalo Bills. Big deal. Also has 4 sacks. He recovered the fumble in Denver off that just ridiculous reverse call by Sean Payton. So Jefferson was the only Jet even in the vicinity. He was able to recognize the play. He got past his blocker and jumped on the loose ball, and it gave the Jets a new life. Now, Jefferson was signed really as a pass rushing specialist. He was kind of like the Sheldon Rankins replacement, and he has more than lived up to it. Another very, very good signing by Joe Douglas. And, you know, a lot of these free agents, the best teams, they don't necessarily sign these guys to 5-6 year contracts. They sign like stopgaps for 1 of 2 years, develop their system, and then they move on. You know, you got to have a few plug-and-play guys, and Jefferson, who has been around the league a little bit, he's 30 years old, is definitely bringing some very good leadership to the 4-3 defense. So I want to give Quinton Jefferson some credit too. And number 3 is Tonyadams, the safety. Now, this is not just about the game-sealing interception he had against Philadelphia. He was already playing really well. It's just that that interception is what put him on the map. So the undrafted free agent out of the University of Illinois, he made Jason Pinnock expendable before the 2022 season. A lot of Jets fans were confused by that. But Pinnock went on to the Giants, where he still is today. The Jets then traded for Chuck Clark from Baltimore. And we didn't see a whole lot of Tonyadams actually in that previous season. LaMarcus Joyner was getting all the free safety reps, but I guess it was with the idea of bringing Adams along. But the Jets still needed some safety help. They traded for Chuck Clark from Baltimore. Unfortunately, he suffered a torn ACL on the last play of OTAs this summer. So then the Jets pivot they signed Packers safety Adrian Amos to a one-year, $4 million deal. And he had a great resume. He'd started every game for Green Bay the last 4 seasons. He'd registered 103 tackles in 2022. A lot of people thought he might be the complement to Jordan Whitehead in that safety backfield. Because when you play safety, you're pretty much on the field the entire time in the Robert Saleh defense. It's like the opposite of the defensive line. But Tony Adams was steadfast. He refused to give his job up to Adrian Amos, to Ashton Davis, any of these guys. Famous Amos, I don't care who it was. And I think we kind of got that vibe that the job was Tony Adams when he barely played a snap in the preseason. A lot of people were surprised by that, but the coaches had a lot of faith in him. Tony Oden, Jeff Ulbrich, Robert Saleh, all these guys. And then, you know what? He sealed that upset win over the Eagles with the dramatic return of the Jalen Hurts interception. This kid is a baller. And letting go of Jason Pinnock doesn't seem like all that bad of a move. It was a risk that they took, but it's a risk that is starting to really work out. So those are my 3 unsung heroes on the Jets. If you have one that I didn't mention, put it right down there in the comments. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you right back here with more content from you know where, the Wicker Chair.